Greetings from the voice of Allan Kardec.
And welcome from the voice of the spirits.
We are here once again to take you on another small journey through the Spirits book by Allan Kardec. Today we will begin the law of justice, love, and charity, covering justice and natural rights, under questions 873 to 879.
Enjoy.
Question 873. Is the sentiment of justice to be found in nature itself, or is it the result of acquired ideas?
It is so natural that you revolt at the thought of an injustice. Moral progress undoubtedly develops this sentiment, but it does not create it. God has placed it in the human heart. That is why you frequently find among simple and unlearned people notions of justice that are more exact than those among very knowledgeable ones.
Question 874. If justice is a law of nature, how may it be explained that people understand it so differently, and that what one individual considers just appears unjust to another?
It is because the passions are usually mingled with the sentiment of justice, thereby altering it. The same thing occurs with the majority of the other natural sentiments, and it causes things to be seen from an erroneous point of view.
Question 875. How may justice be defined?
Justice consists in respecting the rights of others.
Sub-question 875. What determines these rights?
They are determined by two things, human law and natural law. Because humans have established laws that are appropriate for their customs and character, such laws have established rights that can vary with progress. Though your current laws are not perfect, they do not consecrate the same rights as the laws of the medieval era, for instance. Even though those rights seem monstrous to you and are now obsolete, they seemed just and natural at the time. Therefore, the rights established by humans do not always conform to justice. They only regulate certain social relations, whereas in private life there are a huge number of actions that are the exclusive jurisdiction of the court of conscience.
Question 876. Outside the rights consecrated by human law, what is the basis of justice founded on natural law?
Christ has told you, "Do unto others whatsoever you would have them do unto you." God has placed in the human heart the rule of all true justice through the desire that all have to see their rights respected. If you are uncertain of what you should do for your neighbor in any given circumstance, ask yourself, what would you want your neighbor to do to you in a similar situation? God could not give you a safer guide than your own conscience.
Author's remarks for question 876. In fact, the criterion of true justice is in desiring for others what we would desire for ourselves. It is not in desiring for ourselves what we would desire for others, which is not the same thing. Since it is not natural to desire your own harm, then if we take our personal desire as the norm or starting point, we can be certain that we will never do anything for our neighbor except what is good. In all ages and in all belief systems, humans have always sought to enforce their own personal rights. The sublimity of the Christian religion was to take personal rights as the basis for the rights of the neighbor. Question 877. Does the necessity of living in society impose any special obligations on humankind?
Yes, and the first of all is that of respecting the rights of others. Those who respect the rights of others will always be just. In your world, where so many do not practice the law of justice, everyone resorts to reprisals, and that is what causes trouble and confusion in your society. Social life bestows rights and imposes reciprocal duties.
Question 878. Since humans can be mistaken as to the extent of their rights, what guideline can enable them to know what limits to set on such rights?
The limit of the rights that each one recognizes for his or her neighbor in relation to him or herself under the same circumstances, and vice versa.
Sub-question 878. But if all attributed to themselves the rights of their neighbor, what becomes of subordination to superiors? Wouldn't that cause anarchy regarding all positions of power?
Natural rights are the same for everybody, from the least to the greatest. God has not made some from purer clay than others, and all are equal in the divine sight. These rights are eternal, whereas those established by humans perish with their institutions. Moreover, all individuals sense their own strength or weakness, and will always show a certain difference to those who deserve it because of their virtue and wisdom. It is important to point this out so that those who think they are superior may know their duties and may deserve such difference. Subordination will never be compromised if authority is in conformance with wisdom.
Question 879. What would be the character of those who practice justice in all its purity?
They would be truly just and would be following Jesus' example because they would practice both charity and love towards their neighbor, without which there is no real justice.